Now we're going to move on to our second three-way debate on the economy. Mr. Bernier, Mr. Trudeau, and Mr. Scheer. Mr. Trudeau, you have no plan to return to a balanced budget. Mr. Bernier, you want to cut lively. You said it earlier. Mr. Scheer, we still haven't seen your costed platform, your figures. Where are you going to cut things?
First of all, I made a very clear commitment. We will balance the budget in 5 years. All of our announcements were sent to the Parliamentary Budget Officer for his calculations, contrary to Mr. Trudeau, who put forward a platform that was simply written on the corner of the napkin.
But that's
over 50% of his
ridiculous, Mr. Scheer. We presented a real plan.
Where are your numbers,
Trudeau? Full plan, a full costed plan. It was approved in part by the Parliamentary Budget Officer. But the reality is that we are so ambitious with our investments and our middle-class tax cuts. Mr. Scheer, unlike you, are promising a tax cut of $50,000 for multi-millionaires. You have a universal tax cut which helps families who make $400,000 a year more than families who make $40,000 a year.
Let's talk about that.
Mr. Scheer, finish up, and then it'll be Mr.
That's a lie. You lied when the Globe and Mail published the story. You lied when you said that Jody Wilson labeled
Mr. Scheer,
and you are lying today.
We lowered taxes for the middle class, and we increased them for the richest Canadians, and you voted against
for 80% of Canadians in the middle class, Mr. Trudeau.
Started off well, but speak one at a time, please. Mr. Bernier.
Well, if I look around me here, the party leaders, they all say they're going to balance the budget, but in 5 years' time, and they're asking for a term in office of 4 years, so no one will end up balancing the budget. And Mr. Scheer is talking about adding billions of dollars to the debt. Mr. Trudeau's going to follow suit. It's irresponsible. Our national credit card is full and overflowing. It's brimming. So the only thing is to stop corporate welfare, put an end to subsidies to corporations, and if we want to kickstart the economy, we have to put money back in the pockets of business people in Beauce, across Canada, and we're going to do this because we're going to find the money to balance the budget within 2 years.
This is a conservative argument. We've heard it many times. We heard that for 10 years under Mr. Harper, and you were both part of that party. We saw cuts. We saw tax cuts for the richest Canadians. We saw underinvestment in infrastructure, in seniors, in our young people, and they didn't deliver economic growth. Over the last 4 years, we have invested in the middle class. We have seen 1 million new jobs created. We have seen the lowest unemployment rate in the history of this country, and we've lifted 900,000 people out of poverty.
Too many lies in this discourse. I don't even have time to answer to all of them. People with the lowest revenue levels benefited from our plan. Trudeau's excuse was to invest in infrastructure, and the Parliamentary Budget Officer clearly stated that there was no plan. We have the worst of both worlds. We have large deficits and no plan to help infrastructure, and the cost of these deficits keep on increasing. More and more of taxpayers' money is being paid for simple interest.
Listen, Mr. Scheer is telling you that there have been no investments in infrastructure, but people can go out and look in their cities, in their communities, and see the investments in infrastructure that we have made. Investments in social housing, investments that we have chosen to make because the Conservatives under Mr. Harper underinvested, and we made the choice of investing in a reasonable way in our future, and it's working.
Yes, but at the same time, you're running a deficit, and you have to pay back the interest on the debt. We're talking about $26 billion per year. We have no wiggle room left, no leeway left. And many economists are saying we're on the verge of a recession in a couple of years. And if that's the case, it's going to be a disaster in terms of social programs. We need an accountable, responsible system, tax system. You just create the way
it's exactly that. By making investments in people, in workers, in families, that creates resiliency in families and communities. We don't need to create a big pot of money for when we need it. We need to make those investments investments in people so that they can be strong, so that they can resist in difficult times. And I completely disagree with you. I completely disagree. They're going to cut, we're going to invest.
Justin Trudeau.
Your figures. I started to ask you questions.
Justin Trudeau increased the tax burden on everyone. He increased taxation on 80% of middle-class families. What we have proposed is a plan to balance the budget in 5 years.
We haven't seen your numbers. Where are your numbers?
Your costings, Mr. Trudeau?
I don't have the right to bring my platform
Over
here, but I
50% of your
have
commitments
one,
are not
unlike you.
costed.